Go.
I'm Amber Hogan, and this is my demonstration speech. My audience is my brother, parents, and my grandma. Comic books. You may have read them as a child and had a small collection, or maybe you thought they were for nerds, but nowadays they've become very valuable collector's items, especially with the releases of movies like Batman the Dark Knight, Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, and many other movies that have been based on famous comic book characters. Like any collector's item, the value of comic books really depends on the condition they're in. One that's in a very nice condition might be worth maybe a couple dollars, up to even hundreds or even thousands if they're old enough. But small things just as a little bend in the corner, maybe a crease on the binding, or even some with torn pages and completely destroyed would make your comic absolutely worthless. Now this comic was only worth a quarter, so it's not such a big deal to destroy it. But this comic book is currently selling for almost $30 a piece. A printing error caused it to be recalled, so there's a very limited quantity. Should one of these get damaged, there's no replacing it. I work for MailOrderComics.com, the third largest comic book retailer in the United States. We ship packages with comic books to all 50 states, Puerto Rico, and over 200 other international customers. So we know how to take care of our comics during shipping. What I'm going to show you today is the techniques that we've discovered that make sure that your comics arrive to their destination in the best shape that they can, to make sure that they retain their value. The first step is to gather your comics into a bundle. We usually ship in bundles of about 25. That way, it's big enough to stay together as a block, but it's not too big to shift around and damage each other. So first, you want to pick up your bundle. We like to split the bundle in half and flip them around, so half of the bindings are on one side and half are on the other. This makes it a more even square instead of having lopsided with all the bindings on one edge. The next thing you're going to do, once you've put these into a nice little square, is put them into a plastic bag. This helps keep them together in a bundle and protect them from anything that might get on the outside of the comics. You want to be sure to push them all the way to the front and all the way to the side to make sure that they stay together in a nice even shape. You tape the ends securely, pulling just tight enough that it will keep the comics together to keep them from shifting around, but not too tight so that you will bend the edges. This is really important. You don't want to damage our comics in the very first step of packaging. Once you've got your nice square bundle, you're going to put it into this corrugated cardboard. We chose this because it won't stick to items like comics, but it will stick to itself and give us a nice tight bundle that won't come apart during shipping. Grab a brand new piece of cardboard and place it about in the center. You want to make sure that you have an even space on both the top and bottom so it's not pushed up to any of the edges. Fold it over to the edge of the bundle and then fold the other side over to overlap. These bundles will protect the corners from damage that may occur during shipping. Once you've wrapped your bundle, you want to select your box. You always want to select a box that has just enough room to fit your comics comfortably, but has the least amount of extra space possible. We have many different sizes of boxes, some 4 inches tall, some 6 inches tall. With only one bundle, choosing this box would be a bad idea, because all the extra space is just more room for your comics to shift around and become damaged. Put your comic bundles in the appropriate size box. For this package, we'll only have one bundle, but you may have many. You'd want to be sure to place them in the center of your box so that they're not touching any of the 4 sides. If they're touching the sides, they may become dropped or get thrown around during shipping, and this would cause the sides to come in and damage the comics. Sometimes we pack with things like packing peanuts, which I'm sure you're all familiar with, but lately we've begun to use brown paper. This paper is crumpled up and put around the edges to keep your package from shifting. I've already crumpled this paper because paper crumpling can be very loud. Sometimes it takes a lot of work. In the warehouse, we have a machine that crumples all the paper for us. And we need to make sure that it gets on all 4 sides of the bundle and fills up the box completely. Any open space is just more area for the comics to shift around and get damaged, and that would really decrease their value. You want to press the paper in firmly so that it'll protect all the sides. But you don't want to push it in too hard because you could inadvertently damage your comics before you even seal up your box. The paper that we use comes in bundles like this, and this is where we would pull it up and put it in the box. Once you've stuffed your box pretty full, you're ready to seal it up. You want to be sure that you have enough paper in your box to fill it up, but not too much that it's overflowing. Secure the box with tape along the seam, and sometimes it's helpful to add an extra piece or two, just to be sure that it'll stay taped during the entire shipping process. Now you have your box. You want to give it a little shake. If we don't hear any rattling, that's a good sign. It means that the comics aren't going to be shifting around, because sometimes they face a very tough journey. They may get shooken around a bit, tossed around, thrown into stuff. They don't always face a nice, safe journey from place to place. We've even seen boxes that have been used as stepping stools. I guess they couldn't find anything better to stand on. But if you follow these steps correctly, your box should arrive nice and safely at its destination. Upon receiving the box, your customers should be able to open and know that the comics that they get inside will still be in good condition, so they will still have the value that they would have had when they left your store. When you open the box, you find a nice safe bundle. Inside of our bundle are our comics. And of course, with these tips that I've shown, our comics still arrive in their nice, perfect condition. These comic books are very valuable collector's items, but if they become damaged, that could severely hurt their value. If you follow these steps that I've shown you, they should arrive just fine. Put them in nice, square bundles, put them inside of the plastic bag to protect them from anything that might damage them, tape it shut firmly, wrap in cardboard, and place in the appropriate size box. Fill the box so that it's full so your comics won't shift, but not too full that it's overflowing. If you follow these, your comics will arrive nice and safe at your destination, and your collectors will be very pleased. Thank you. And here's my audience at the end. Thank you.